Ocean's 8. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. In this video we are going to be reviewing Ocean's 8, which is a sequel slash soft reboot of the famous Oceans franchise, namely Oceans 11, 12 and 13. Now, in the same way as Star Wars Force Awakens was pretty much a replica slash mirror of Star Wars A New Hope, Oceans 8 is pretty much a rehash of the first Oceans 11 movie, except this time it's just got a new cast and a different heist mission. And whilst it is nice to reminisce, it's just so similar from a beat to beat point of view throughout this movie, in terms of loads of different aspects being very similar to how it was in Oceans 11. But you know, that being said, it is still an enjoyable movie. The heist itself could have been so much more epic and so much more grander, so much more clever. But you know, that being said, it is still a fun movie and I'm going to be breaking it all down for you in this movie review. So from a storyline point of view, the movie starts off in a similar way to the Ocean's 11 movie in terms of the Debbie Ocean character, who is Danny Ocean's sister, is paroled from prison, and when she escapes, she performs a few cons on her own, which are actually pretty hilarious. She outsmarts a department store and a really expensive hotel as well, before meeting up with her partner in crime Lou, and together they plan to do a jewellery heist. In the same way that George Clooney and Brad Pitt did in Ocean's 11, the two of them then form a team, and once the team is formed, they decide to steal a Cartier necklace from the Met Gala, which is a pretty grand affair, and I loved all of the cameo appearances that they had in this pseudo Met Gala ball, which is absolutely hilarious, and the film then explores whether or not these group of characters are going to be successful in pulling off this heist. Now, from a positives point of view, the casting in this movie was absolutely awesome. Not only was it brilliant to spot all of the cameo appearances at the actual Met Gala, but the brilliant cast itself was just leading the film really well. All of the cameo appearances from the previous Oceans movie were really welcome in this film as well. It's a shame that there were a few more that they did actually film that we didn't get to end up seeing. Hopefully one day that footage will be released so we can see the other cameo appearances that were planned. The twist at the end was really cool as well. It really added a new dimension and layer to the film, and I really like the fact that they were extending and expanding upon the Oceans universe, and they were making Danny Ocean's sister the main lead this time. And you know, all in all, it is a pretty fun movie, so it is pretty cool to watch. But from a negatives point of view, it is very formulaic in how it follows the Ocean's 11 blueprint. Granted, it does do its own thing and it has got new characters and cast members. It's just very similar to what they did in Ocean's 11. And also on that point, I think the prize that they are all trying to get isn't as grand as going into the vault in Ocean's 11. So it just isn't as awesome in terms of the actual prize that they're going towards. And on that point as well, I don't think it's as smooth or as suave or as sophisticated as that movie was. Obviously they're at the Met Gala, which is really grand in and of itself. However, the casino setting just meant that they could do some really cool things that they weren't able to do in this movie. And also, on that point, in the actual setting within the Met Gala, there were just really limited things that the Oceans members could actually do. And there are just some moments where they're just smirking at each other and it's just not as cool or as clever as what Bernie Mac and Don Cheadle and all of the gang were doing in the previous Oceans movie. But you know, all in all, from a storyline point of view, it is pretty compelling in Oceans 8. So from a casting characters point of view, they are absolutely phenomenal in this movie. You know, they've literally got the best female actresses in Hollywood and they've put them into this movie, which is really great. And now it's led from the front by Sandra Bullock. She plays the Debbie Ocean character, so she is the sister of the main lead in the previous few movies, and she is just doing such a good job. Very suave, very smooth, and is just leading from the front really well. And in an exact same way as the Danny Ocean character had in the first movie, there's a little bit of a relationship underlying storyline happening in the background with this character as well. Next up we have Cate Blanchett, who is playing the Brad Pitt equivalent, so she is the partner in crime to the Debbie Ocean character, and she is great in terms of being that partner. However, there just isn't that much depth to this character. I believe that there was a lot more footage in terms of storyline material for this character. It just unfortunately didn't make it to the big screen, so this character is just a bit of a biker chick and clever partner in crime to the Debbie Ocean character. Next up we have Rihanna, who is being the hacker in this movie. Obviously technology has advanced a lot since the last Ocean's couple of movies, and this character is bringing the technological advancements that the team need in order to pull off their heist. Next up we have Sarah Paulson, who is playing a character that used to be another partner in crime of Debbie Ocean's, and she is getting roped back in by Debbie Ocean in this movie. But similar to the other supporting characters, she just isn't as well developed as the Debbie Ocean character is. Similarly with Helena Bonham Carter, she is a fashion designer that is struggling at the moment, and she also needs the money that this team is offering her. In this film, next up we have Awkwafina, who is bringing the much needed humour and comedy value in this movie. She is actually a pickpocket in terms of what she is bringing to the team. Next up we have Mindy, who is a jewellery maker, so is another very useful team member. However, from a similar point of view to the other characters, just isn't that well developed from a storyline or character point of view. Next up we have Anne Hathaway, who is the main villain in this film. Anne Hathaway has played these very powerful women for quite a few movies now, but she just does such a good job, both in terms of being the heroic character as well as the villainous character. And actually she does a good job in bringing both of those attributes to this movie, not as great as Al Pacino or Andy Garcia were in terms of bringing the villainous aspects to the previous Ocean's movies, but that being said, she does do a pretty good job. Next up we have James Corden in this movie, who I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of, but actually he was bringing a lot of humour in the final act of this movie and did a really good job in terms of being the investigator, which was a bit of a new aspect introduced into this movie. Like I said, there are some really nice cameo appearances from the previous Ocean's movies. There is a little bit of a wink as well to the audience that the George Clooney character, the Danny Ocean character, who you are led to believe is dead, but I'm sure in the next couple of Ocean's movies, if they do continue it, then we'll see this character making a bit of a comeback. But that being said, from a cast and characters point of view, they've got phenomenal names. In this movie, they just could have developed the characters a little bit more in Ocean's 8. So from a visuals point of view, this is the most recently released Ocean's movie. The other ones were filmed quite a long time ago, and as a result, from a visuals point of view, this is definitely the strongest looking Ocean's movie. The grading and the filter that they have in pretty much all of the scenes look really, really nice. All of the set pieces look very, very glamorous, very, very amazing. The Met Gala itself looks absolutely awesome. You get to see it from a behind the scenes point of view as well, which is really, really interesting. Like I said before, all of the hotel scenes are really, really nice as well. And I just think the heist aspect, whilst it could have been a lot stronger, it is really enjoyable to watch. And so from a visuals point of view, Ocean's 8 is actually pretty strong. So from a comparison point of view, there are loads of heist movies, and I think Ocean's 8 is better than some, but not as good as others. So I think it's a lot stronger than Ocean's 12, The Hustle, Hustlers, and Money Heist, but I don't think it's as good as Ocean's 11, Ocean's 13, and the two Now You See Me movies, and as a result, I'd safely put Ocean's 8 in the middle. So overall, I have to say, Ocean's 8 is a fun movie. I do think it could have been so much stronger, given the brilliant cast and given the awesome franchise that this movie is a part of. But that being said, it is a cool watch, and so for all of those reasons, I have to give it a solid 6 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.